On the docket tonight, a case out of Nashville, Tennessee, involving a group of young folks in their 20s heading out, doing a little bar hopping. They go to a place called the Copacabana, then head over to, what's it called? The Dogwood, something like the Dogwood. They end up over there, and, you know, sometimes when you're out and you're young, you know, someone looks at you a little funny, or you look at someone a little funny, they look at you, whatever it is, and then things kind of escalate and get out of control. That's what happened in this case, and it ended up with the stabbing death of two young men, incredibly tragic. Michael Ayala has the story.
Police say this video from inside the Dogwood Bar in Nashville, Tennessee, shows the beginning of an encounter that would end with two people dead and a third man wounded. According to investigators, a fight over a woman spilled out of the bar and onto the street, where Clayton Beathard, 22, and Paul Trapini, 21 years old, were stabbed to death.
I think it was such a shock to everybody that this could actually happen.
These were good boys, and they were defending their friend.
Clayton Beathard was a standout college athlete and played most recently for Long Island University. His coach tweeted, "His love of life, people, especially his teammates, was a shining light on our program." Clayton's brother, C.J. Beathard, a backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, took to his Instagram account to write, "Clay has the biggest heart of anyone that I have ever known." Paul Trapini III was captain of the high school football team. He attended Rhodes College in Memphis and was exploring law school before he died. The accused killer is Michael Mosley, and he's been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder.
There is absolutely nothing that Clayton Beathard and Paul Trapini and AJ did to bring this on themselves.
Prosecutors say Mosley has a criminal history that includes this 2017 assault captured on surveillance video. Police say Mosley went into this Nashville Walmart looking for someone. When he found her, he knocked her to the floor and attacked her, kicking and punching the woman repeatedly. When customers started to approach, Mosley ran from the scene and out the front door. He was later arrested.
Somebody just hit me in the eye. So, you know, I lost my sight and I was covering in it. You know, he started throwing me and kicking me.
This is Molly Baker, the woman Mosley allegedly attacked. She says he stabbed her in the eye with a key during the attack. Police suggest Mosley attacked her as payback. She and her husband are accused of murder in the shooting death of Mosley's stepbrother in 2016. That case is pending. Mosley was free on bond and facing criminal charges in connection with the attack when the fatal stabbings occurred. Mosley's defense attorney says his criminal past should not play a role in the murder case against him and believes video evidence will show his client was defending himself.
A person has a right to defend themselves if they think that they are in danger of serious bodily injury or death.
While Mosley remains in jail until his trial, friends and family members mourn their loss.
Lord, thank you for Paul and Clay.
And a survivor waits for justice.
All right, the first issue I want to deal with is the fact that Mosley's out. You saw what happened in the Walmart. I mean, he's following and targeting this woman, and that's another whole layer of issues involving his stepbrother and the allegations against her. But he's out free on bond. While he's out free on bond, this happens, and 2 lives are taken. Let's bring back in the think tank. Eklund Mercy, I understand you're entitled to bond, but, you know, sometimes maybe take a second look at who this individual is and what they've done and what they're capable of before you set him free.
He is innocent until proven otherwise. So if he...
Even with a videotape?
Yeah, even with the videotape, you are innocent until proven otherwise. I will not change that answer. So he was able to get bond. Now we cannot, but we have this situation. We have alcohol, testosterone, and probably a level of disrespect.
Don't forget about the knife.
It makes for a deadly combination, and the defense has an uphill battle to see what type of provocation did the defendant get. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. It's gonna be some serious lawyering in this case, for real, for real.
Jeffrey, do you think Mosley's attorney is prepping him to testify? Because it's going to be self-defense, right? He's got to get there and tell his story, or are they going to rely on the other videotape?
Well,
they may have to rely on the videotape because of his criminal history, because that case that he's currently awaiting trial on is not his only case. If you read the articles about this case, he's got other history that could come in against him if he testifies. And the video, I think, is the big thing here, because we have not seen it. It is video that has not been released. It is video that the defense has seen, apparently hours of video around this incident. And quite frankly, you know, as violent as he has been in the past and as violent as he was that night, he's not nearly as big as a couple, you know, star athletes and their friends. Because my understanding is that those two and the one that survived were not the only ones involved here. And we haven't heard a lot about him having anybody with him. And so if you get into a situation where on a video you see a crowd basically going at him, he does have a right to defend himself. Now, it doesn't make it any less of a tragedy that two people end up dead and one person ends up potentially losing his vision in one of his eyes. But you do have a right to defend yourself depending on the circumstances, and none of us know those circumstances until this video comes out.
Yeah, the only circumstance we know, Monica, is that he had a knife and the other guys, I guess, had fists.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a bar fight, right? This all happened within 60 seconds. And so the videos, like Eklund and Jeff has said, that's going to be key in all of this. And I want to say right now, this guy is guilty, right? That's what I want to say. He's got a bad history. He beats up women. He stabs people with a key or whatever he has, right? That's what I want to say because I know a little bit about his history. But that doesn't really matter because, like Eklund said, when you have testosterone and you have alcohol and you have boys, because, I mean, they're men. I know they're men, but they're still, you know, boys, 21, 22, 20 years old, all get together in a situation like this and with a girl involved, you know, who knows who was the bad guy? And so like Eklund said, it's going to be a lot of really good lawyering here because it could really come down to the fact that he was completely outmanned, so to speak, and he felt that the only thing he could do was turn around and grab that knife. It's going to be a really tough case for both, and I think it's really going to come down to those videos.
Yeah, and I remember what those situations can be like. I mean, there was that night. I was at the club, Wayne, New Jersey. Eklund, you weren't there, but I was surrounded by four big guys who were obviously juiced up.
What did you do
They
to deserve that?
They accused me of saying something about them. I didn't even know who they were. Well, good for me, as I'm surrounded by this group. All of a sudden, my boys come over, and we diffused it. We said, I said, listen, I don't even know who you guys are. No, I didn't say anything.
You're such a smooth talker,
We're
Vinny.
just going to leave. Yeah, we didn't want to fight.
Not everybody has the gift of gab.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Yep. All right. We've got more. When we come back, the trial that you're following and watching right here on Court TV, you got Curly Prokopovich, accused of murdering his wife. His wife disappeared in 2013, never to be seen again. But the day she disappeared, he went to work. Would you go to work the day your spouse went missing? That's our 13th juror question. Your answer, your verdict when we return.